Are you ready for the chills to happen again? Because they're gonna happen. Okay, let's see, where did we leave off? We left off when Scott met the two gentlemen that founded the Christian ministry in Sturgis. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward about 6 months to a year. Now, this whole time, Scott and Buck had become very good friends. These two actually ended up being roommates for a little while. And it helped Buck with some chores around the house. He wasn't feeling great some of the time, and you know, Scott was able to help him out, and also Scott was helped out by the many counseling sessions that I'm sure that they had, just talking about Scott's life and Buck's life and getting to know each other and God being present in all that time. Now, Scott has friends in Jacksonville, Florida. He's got friends in Miami, Florida, and he's got friends over in the Gulf side of Florida that he has known for many, many years. And then he has some friends in the Keys. He flew to Jacksonville and was visiting some of his friends with the intention of kind of driving around the state looking for some areas that we might want to look at together to retire. Now, while we were looking for property to retire in Florida, we did have some criteria that we needed to keep in mind. Scott needs to be by an airport. His job is all over the United States, and they fly him to where he needs to go. So we need to be close to an airport within, 45 minutes to an hour drive. We don't mind a little bit of a drive to an airport, but Scott wants to be close to water. So within an hour of, a beach. We didn't want to be around Miami, around that area. We knew that. So we kind of narrowed it down to a little triangle. The St. Johns River was going to be our inland boundary, and then Orlando or Daytona, in that area, we were going to try and stay in that area. We wanted some land, do a homestead. We would like to get more independent and start doing our own food and growing our own stuff. Scott had a rental car while he was visiting with his friends in Jacksonville, and we had kind of narrowed it down to that triangle between Orlando, Daytona, and St. John's area. And he was going to drive around in those small little towns and see, if there was any areas that we would like better than the others. Work. So anyway, he went down there, and as he's driving from Jacksonville to Palatka, he gets a phone call from Buck, his, Sturgis buddy. Well, Buck is calling him, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm driving around, Lane and I are thinking about retiring down here." And he's like, "I know someone in Palatka, and you should probably go visit it." Well, this was the second time that Palatka had been pointed out to him. One was by his friend that told him, "Hey, look up in the Palatka area. I hear that the housing is reasonable up there, and it's a smaller town, but it's on the St. Johns River, and that's where we're thinking about going for retiring." And so Scott was headed there because of his recommendation from his friend in Miami. Well, when Buck called and he's like, "Hey, if you're going to Palatka, I know someone." Well, so Scott's like, "Okay, well, isn't it weird that out of the blue, Buck calls him, and he just happens to know someone in Palatka. Well, guess who the someone is? The someone is Benny Reynolds. Now, Benny Reynolds, you know, unless you're in the biker Christian community, you may not know who that is, but he is a minister at Peniel Baptist Church there in Palatka. And he is, I want to say he's the national president for a bikers Christian group called the Faith Riders. Now, and if you're in the motorcycle world and the Christian motorcycle world, you know what that group is and that it's a pretty large group. So the fact that Buck, Scott Sturgis' buddy, knows someone in another Christian ministry, and come to find out the Faith Riders are taking over the Sturgis Christian ministry. Buck and Bob, they've put in their time, and they retired from that Sturgis event and kind of handed the keys over to Benny Reynolds and the Faith Riders. So here we are back in the motorcycle world with the Christian ministry going on, and it's kind of come full circle from an airplane trip to South Dakota and Scott working in South Dakota to us retiring in Florida, and the same connection is in Florida waiting for Scott. There come the chills, right? The chills for the second time. It just keeps getting better. So Scott comes home and he is all pumped up about meeting Benny Reynolds, and they had a really good connection, and he really felt like he made a connection with him that was going to last for the rest of his life. So over time, Scott has kept in touch with Benny Reynolds and with Buck and Bob, and now we're another year later. It's 2020. The COVID thing is going on, and I have made the decision to go ahead and return. We went to visit in Florida looking for property. Now, we have been looking online on, you know, Zillow and other realtor.com and all that, looking online, checking out properties, and we had kind of, we picked out one place that we really thought could be a contender, and before we could even get down there to look at it, it sold, so we knew that that wasn't for us. And, you know, we liked a bunch of other properties, but there was this one property that we kept going back to, and it's been on the market for close to 400 days. And we're thinking something has got to be wrong with this property, but we kept it on our favorite list because for what Scott would like to do, he needs to be doing something. He needs to keep busy. We flew down and we went around and visited several properties. And I think I've showed you the 4 top contenders. We actually looked at some vacant lands too that I didn't put in that video, and it just, you know, the thing with the land in Florida is if you can find several acres that are together, you're more than likely going to have some kind of a flood zone or a swamp or something. And they don't always state that on their description of the land. When we were down there, we crossed off a bunch of things. Well, we went to visit the one property that had been on the market for about 400 days, and Scott and I instantly fell in love. We knew it was going to be a lot of hard work, but it's surface hard work. You know, it's just like when you buy a house and you want to remodel it, you can see the finished product, you know what it can be. I just got a call from Scott and we officially put a bid in. We put a bid in on the property that we would like. And we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited. Okay, so part of Scott's vision, he would like to create, and I think would be a great fun deal for him. But he would like to provide a place for travelers that are coming through, that are, you know, in the faith ministries, and you know, be able to help out with that kind of thing. And we don't really see the big plan of that. I mean, that's kind of a broad sketch, and I'm sure it's going to evolve into more ideas as time goes on and we figure out exactly what land we have, and you know, how we're actually going to do this. So anyway, we are both really excited about going down there, about starting to garden, and I just about blew our secret about which property we picked. Anyway, and we really think this is a God ministry, that God is leading us down there. We really hope you guys stay tuned. I know there's just a lot more fascinating things coming, and I really can't wait to get Scott on the camera. And right now he is in Iowa, or no, actually he is in South Dakota today. But when he, you know, when he gets on film, I think, and starts explaining a lot about, you know, how he sees the ministry going, and how he would like for it to evolve, or some ideas that he has. You know, it's just great to hear him talk about it and get so excited about it. I'm gonna let you go. Thanks again for coming back and watching part 2. I hope all is well in your world, and blessings to everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you which property we picked, and about, you know, details about it that we're so excited about. Okay, bye-bye. Have a great evening.